There are many reasons why small homes are appealing to people. For instance, smaller spaces can inspire homeowners to decorate them minimalistically and live with less stuff. In addition, smaller spaces are, logically, easier to clean and maintain. However, some people might find it difficult to deal with small spaces. It can leave them yearning for a little more space. For those wanting to learn how to handle limited space with ease and make their homes more comfortable, here are 20 creative do-it-yourself projects to try for anyone living in a small space by simphome.com. Number 20. How to build a rotating canned food storage system. With this vertical storage, it's easy to access the wanted items, as they are always at the bottom end of the storage. And there's always a clear view of both the available items and those that need to be replenished. The only needed materials are some boards, a decorative trim, wood glue, some screws, and paint. The necessary tools for this project are a saw, a tape measure, a drill, some clamps, and a nail gun. Not all cans are the same dimensions, so it's important to measure everything precisely and make sure that the trim can hold them in place. After the measuring, gluing, and sawing, the only thing left to do is paint, hang, and fill with cans. Number 19. How to build a lightweight sliding barn door. The majority of people find sliding barn doors very appealing. However, the hardware is quite expensive and the doors are really heavy. Of course, there's a DIY alternative for it. Additionally, the DIY version will make it possible to have an extremely lightweight sliding barn door. The catch is that behind the fabric that we'll be using as an alternative, there won't be anything solid, just a frame. This way, there won't be any wood or other heavy stuff at all. It's important to measure 3 things: the width of the wall, the height of the ceiling, and the width of the closet opening. Building these doors will take estimated no more than 2 days. Once the building part is finished, the only thing left to do is hang them and enjoy. Number 18. DIY wall serving station. For this project, it's necessary to have a board in desired measures. After cutting everything according to the measurements and gluing the boards together with the wood glue, they should be nailed in place. By adding hinges to the sides of the board, it will be possible to close it when it's not in use. After adding the hinges, it's necessary to attach a chain to each side of the board. Then, pull the chains tightly so that the boards form a 90-degree angle, and finally, screw the chain in place. The final step is closing the lid and installing the hook and eyes to each side of the top shelving. That's all there is to it. As it is attached to the wall, this serving station can be used as a self-serve drink center. It's possible to close it when not in use, so it's a perfect space saver. Number 17. Sofa hack. Wooden armrest table with built-in cup holder. A wooden armrest table with a cup holder is something that everybody needs, as balancing a full cup of hot coffee on the armrest might result in you being burnt and moody all day. Therefore, here comes a handy DIY solution to the rescue of both the beverage and the upholstery. If there's some time to spare, why not dedicate that to a little bit of woodwork in order to make something useful? Roll up those sleeves, get some basic power tools and supplies, and in no time there will be a wooden armrest table for some snacks to binge on while watching TV, and a cup holder to protect that favorite mug of yours. Number 16. Wooden spinning table for books or tools. For the bookworms out there, instead of letting those books pile up and start falling from the shelves, spend some time on this handy and useful DIY project that will lead to having a table for books, or even tools, that can spin. What's needed here is the wood for the shelf and the brackets, and a Lazy Susan that will allow the table to spin. With basic tools such as a drill, a saw, wood glue, and paint, making this table will be a piece of cake. Number 15. DIY honeycomb storage bins. Dealing with small spaces might be really difficult, as there's not enough space for you to store your things. Buying storage bins can also be difficult in these cases, as the bins in stores don't seem to fit perfectly in the space that is available. Therefore, why not make your own storage bins? After finishing this project, you'll end up having more space to store everything and create a neat and clean interior. So now, there's a way to handle the mess that can be impossible to cope with in small spaces. Number 14. Storage ottoman DIY. Another great space saver is an ottoman that is doable to copy if one knows how to handle a drill and a staple gun. This project is one of those that serve not just a practical purpose, but an aesthetic one too. Some necessities are a couple of wooden crates, some plywood, and casters. Once the ottoman is finished, and it surely won't take too much time, it will be possible to tuck away remotes, books, magazines, kids' toys, and whatever needs to be placed away quickly. Thanks to the casters, it can be wheeled out of the way for more space and wheeled back in when needed. Number 13. How to build a bathroom vanity sliding shelf. What's even more problematic than dealing with small home spaces, storage-wise, is having to deal with tiny bathrooms. Usually, there isn't enough space to store everything. Well, of course, there's a way to solve this with a simple DIY bathroom vanity sliding shelf. With this shelf, everything is organized and accessible with just one pull. By dedicating a minimal amount of time and with some basic tools and supplies, this project will be finished with ease and will lead to a beautiful and well-organized bathroom space. Definitely worth giving a try. Number 12. DIY shelf over the bed. Unlike some DIY projects that might end up being very complicated, a DIY shelf will be neither time-consuming nor difficult. With just one piece of tooling, a screwdriver, creating a shelf that's going to be put above the bed is going to be a piece of cake. It will be great for space saving, and it's visually appealing too. What's more, it's super cheap, and it will cost less than $20. Simply amazing. Number 11. Seatbelt key holder. For those who always find it hard to locate their keys, there's a great DIY project on how to create a seatbelt key holder. With a piece of wood, 2 seatbelt buckles, cut out from the seatbelts, some basic tools and glue, losing those keys won't happen again. In addition, for those who want to express their creativity, decorating the wood will result in having a key holder with both practical and aesthetic purpose. Number 10. Mini floating shelf. The mini floating shelves project will be absolutely perfect for a small space that needs to be used wisely while retaining the stylish aesthetics. For this project, there are just a couple of things you'll need, such as a wooden board, a drill, some ropes, and paint. With these tools and supplies, you'll end up having fantastic, gravity-defying shelves that will leave your guests speechless. Number 9. Industrial adjustable height bolt bar stool. Living in a small space doesn't necessarily mean that there should be no parties or charades in it. For those occasions when some extra seating is needed, it's good to have something that won't take up much space. That's where bar stools come in. Roll up those sleeves and start working that wood. It will be worth it once there are some guests to impress by just pulling up one of these. As known to all, bar stools can be difficult for the shorter ones, but there's a catch. This DIY project will result in having bar stools with adjustable height. Problem solved! Number 8. DIY Lazy Susan under $20. Why spend money on something that can be an interesting project to do on your own? Well, here's another idea. Instead of buying the Lazy Susan that can serve for many purposes, why not make one and save some cash? With a round piece of pine, a rotating spice holder, some paint and glue, making the Lazy Susan will be easy and fun. This project won't be time-consuming at all. After it, you'll have a Lazy Susan that you can use as a sauce holder, which will make family dinners more enjoyable when no one has to pass the ketchup. Number 7. DIY geometric shelves. There can never be too many shelves in the room, right? Along with their space-saving purpose, they are great decorative accents. Making geometric shelves is quite simple and, more importantly, cheap. Another great thing is that there's no need for anything fancy to make these. They are possible to make by using only a staple gun and a miter box with a saw. That's incredibly nifty, right? Number 6. DIY nesting herb boxes. Making nesting herb boxes requires no master science. Also, it's a great way to grow some herbs, hold flowers, succulents, or decor items. By cutting the wood, gluing it together in the form of a box, painting it, and attaching the hanging hook to it, this project will be successfully completed within just one day. Number 5. DIY XX console table. A XX console table will be perfect for storing books, keys, remotes, magazines, and much more. Additionally, it will enrich the space with the rustic effect, which will give an artistic touch to the overall space. So, not only will it serve its purpose, but it will be an eye-pleaser too. With some wood, nails, and paint, the XX console table is good to go. Number 4. Cheapest DIY curtain rods. A room cannot be complete without curtains. Sometimes long curtain rods can be very expensive. So in order to save up, why not make your own inexpensive curtain rods? For this project, it's necessary to have an electrical conduit, corner braces, straps, and nuts and bolts. This solution is ideal for those who don't want to spend a lot on curtain rods and for those who like to express their creativity, as it's possible to have some fun decorating them. Number 3. Make your own Lazy Susan. The DIY Lazy Susan was already covered earlier. However, the previous one might be too small for some. Also, a good quality, large Lazy Susan can be extremely difficult to find. There are a few tiny plastic models that might be used in the refrigerator, but nothing for big cabinets. The best part of this project is that it's incredibly painless to complete and affordable. The only needed materials are an MDF, a Lazy Susan hardware, available at hardware stores, a couple of screws, a jigsaw, and some paint. What's left to do is measuring the cupboard, cutting a circle out of a piece of MDF, priming and painting it, and attaching the Lazy Susan onto the bottom. Easy, right? Number 2. Adjustable pegboard. This particular DIY project will look awesome and is just as functional as it is visually appealing. As the pegs are interchangeable, it's possible to mix, match, and customize the content. The necessary tools and materials for this one are a sheet of plywood, a sheet of pegboard, a drill, a nail gun, and a level. Before we get to number 1, I suggest you press the subscribe button if this channel is new to you, and the bell icon beside it. This way, you'll be notified of the new videos every time I have published it. Number 1. Hanging kitchenware. The last project on this list is something that could be useful for everyone. No one likes having messy kitchen cabinets. Why stress about not being able to find the right pot buried under a messy pile of kitchenware when it's possible to clean up this mess with one simple DIY? The needed materials are a piece of wood, a shelf slide reel, some nails, hooks, and a drill. Once the wood has been attached to the reel, along with the hooks, it is ready to be placed into the cabinet. Within a couple of hours, messy cabinets will become ancient history. That's it for now. Since you're still watching, like this video before it ends or share it with anyone close to you in your social media account. See you again next time with hopefully better videos, and thanks for watching.